fuck it. Am I in it? Am I in here? Am I in it? Hey, is this mic on? Oh, good. Nice. So that would have been another couple of setups there to get going again. It's difficult to. Okay, this is. I'm trying a new. This is a new angle. It's the same shit. I feel like this is a little bit better. Maybe if I need to look something up, I still have this shit. It's a lot of shit going on in the background. I don't know if that's helpful. All right. Before we really get started here, I have to make sure just because this shit is still that way. Sometimes, guys, don't pay attention to the title. This one on the video, just simply pay attention. I just wanted to start on this, and it doesn't really even have much to do with anything, but I thought it was fun.
I know Barack got tested for AIDS. There's no shame in being tested for AIDS. It's an important thing because the.
I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with anything. I mean, it kind of, I guess, will be. I'm gonna try to get into some videos and TikTok, whatever conspiracy videos. Oh, I did it again. I fucking told you. That's why I have it open on this other one. Oh my god. All right, did the audio at least come there? The audio probably didn't even. Also, they kept there. I'm gonna put this shit. God damn it. Yeah, this new set, it's not fully figured out. Don't freak out. Let's go. Shit. No, nah, fuck it. I'll put it so I find it now. Alright. Make sure the fuck is this thing is working. Hello. Shit. Man, fuck it. Okay. No, it's doing fine. Yeah, I don't know what the bad words on YouTube are still, so I hope. You're still allowed to say shit, of course. Whatever. But here's the video. I think it's important. Again, it doesn't have anything to do with what's.
I know Barack got tested for AIDS. There's no shame in being tested for AIDS. It's an important thing because the fact. I know Barack got tested for AIDS. There's no shame in being tested for AIDS. It's an important thing because the fact of the matter is.
Yeah, I watched it a bunch of times already. To be honest, I was already pretty much on it there. God damn it. But yeah, this one's up there. And it has nothing to do with the topic here, which is going to be about the Conspiracy Playbook. Or it is the Conspiracy Playbook. And what does it mean? Simply put, it's all the things they do to trick us on a regular basis here in the world. So I had to put it down here. Here we go. Let's have a list of things. Yeah, I'm not going to bore you guys with this shit, because it really went on longer than I thought it would. It just kept going, and it went to the back of the page. Not usually what's going on there. I'll be honest, I keep it short. For example, this one I was flipping through. I was like, oh, that's hilarious. It's a half a page. Let me see. It's actually just a half. So that's usually what it's at. But the Conspiracy Playbook, it's probably going to be a more fleshed out video. I want to edit down into like a complete, just a solid piece of art, as it should be. Because these conspiracies are real. Is this? I feel like it tilted back down. Am I missing something? Should I be over here more? Come on, put the whole. The sun will set out. Towards all right, fuck. But now here's the Conspiracy Playbook. Here's all the conspiracies in the flavor. I don't like looking at myself on this thing. I just like looking at it. I don't know. I'm supposed to be done. It got way fucking longer. I even filled out the little side fucking piece right here with the little things. So I'm really not even gonna be able to cover this whole thing. Expected it. Yeah, it'll be a full video. Swear to God, this one might be a fucking half hour, like first ever half-hour edited, really squeeze one out like that. But I'm just going to cover what I can here and how it pertains to our our current stuff that we're going through or whatever. Yeah. So just the topical stuff, I guess I'll cover here real quickly. Just because, this is at this point, this is weekly news essentially. You guys need this stuff. And anybody out there getting lost in the sauce here? So, okay. All right. Here's the first news story. If you want to call it that, this guy allegedly shoots this other guy, and then they even humiliation ritualed him. I'm not sure if you saw that picture of him in the street. They got him butt naked, strapped to the thing. Is this showing up? Hopefully YouTube didn't make it a blank screen again. I don't know where it is. I don't know. I think they probably fucking did. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. No, that's maybe. But yeah, they don't have the picture on here. That makes sense. That's tasteful because it's just so fucked up. So yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, that's definitely bullshit. It's obviously bullshit. Again, once you get the playbook, you kind of get the idea. It's like the only reason they put the National Guard out there was so they can do this, so that they can do their next thing, which is more police state bullshit. So ramen noodle, Lollapalooza here didn't have anything to do with anything. I doubt, and they're saying he served with everybody and all that. I'm sure, again, it's more of the same shit for the same purposes, divide and conquer. And shit like this. I mean, why'd they even let him in here? I mean, the only reason they let anybody in is to do shit like this so that they can then turn the whole place into a police state to track everybody. So, that one's just an obvious one. I'm not trying to dig in too deep immediately with this whole thing, but it's like, you really believe this? And even the footage from the scene, look like bullshit. There's, broken glass. It's doesn't look like broken glass. It looks like, theater glass, sugar glass, whatever the hell. You can't even find any pictures. They got random shit when you're looking for the thing. Oh, the two Israeli one. That they stop talking about that on the other side. I'm telling you, they're really pushing it now, and it's getting strange. They're almost throwing out these just odd ones that people sort of want to believe, and this sort of goes into my other more topical idea here is the idea that let me spark this. Actually, I'm but right now they're collection. What's those numbers? Ignore my chair. It's been ruined by bad actors. I didn't know. God damn it. But yeah. All right. So here's this one. Right? Let me just pull this up. Make sure. Real quick. World War III. So the next big op here is obvious. We've all been waiting for it, really. At this point, it's like, it's been a while in making. That's nice. But at this point, they've been planning this one for a while, and I've seen people dropping their guards with this this whole false flag thing. As you might notice now, every time something happens, whether it's Charlie Kirk or Irina, Beauty and the Black Flag on the train that one time, or it's, you fucking name it, the Afghani dude shooting the fucking DC guy. People. So, they, they're so flimsy that you could poke, in several ways right through, right? But it's almost just a feeler. It's a feeler to see where people are at and what kind of intensity of what type of storytelling you're going to need to sell them to really get them with this next one. Yeah. Hmm. So there's a lot of people out there not believing the shit as they shouldn't because it's clearly bullshit. But all it's really doing is information for these guys to really hone their next real big false flag that's actually going to mean something. How does that need to land? Which target does it need to hit? You know, who needs to fall for it, basically, and how many of them can you get? With how many, how many targets can you, whatever, how much support, all this shit, out of whatever you have to target to do that. So I'll be going through this list. It's a fucking long list. My handwriting is it's not neat. It is horrible. It is verging on horrible. I'll say that. I mean, I can read a good amount of it. I mean, but it is my own handwriting. So I mean, let's say, hmm. Yeah, I'm not gonna be. But it's basically all the lessons I learned. I'm trying to condense down. It's not gonna be every single one because I don't even fully know all the lessons I know. Yeah, they get cooked in there somewhere, baked into the spidey senses that we all have, that we should all be using. Yeah, that only makes sense. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to, be way too hard to read here. Wow. Yeah, basically, we'll go through the list of all these things. So recently, they're trying to get people's guards dropped for World War III playbook. They're closing it down a little bit, but they're kind of not. They're opening it up over here in Venezuela and doing little things here and there. Yeah, it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be great. Oh, God, I wish I was Hassan Abi right now and just tase the shit out this dog. Mm. But for real, let's see. The first trick they have for us is divide and conquer. Well, really, their goals, from as far as their media is concerned, is keeping people divided and distracted. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing. You find yourself getting way distracted or way divided. I mean, they've got you by the balls. I mean, that's an obvious first one, right? As we go on here, it'll get more intense. This one's a good one. I put it in there because it's a fucking good one. Psyops thrive on you not mentioning them. All right, the best psyops out there are basically they'll show you fucking something, and it might be egregious, it might be just something slightly, you know, offensive, or I don't know what you would call it, slightly harmful. I don't know. And essentially, the power of the psyop is when that can hit you right over the head, right, and you don't mention it. You don't verbalize it and talk about, hey, that was weird. Buildings don't fall like that. Weird shit. Just random observations that you're not supposed to. The second you say it, that's when they come and get you. Hey, why are all the movies they do the Zendaya agenda thing? It's like it's always Zendaya and a white guy in on the movie. I mean, but they're kind of ending it now. I mean, but not really with the Paul Thomas Anderson COINTELPRO operation. That was that last movie. I mean, they're still hanging on to it, but it's odd to you mention it. And you're supposed to feel like an asshole. But I'm like, they never. How many times do they do it the other way? I mean, it's just strange. It's just, am I wrong? Am I noticing this wrong? Am I noticing something that's incorrect? No. No, but that's the psyop. It'll tell you not to do it, not to mention it, because the second you mention it, once it's observed, really, and then mentioned, it'd be step two. Step 3 would be combating it. Now you can officially combat it once it's verbalized and people can talk about it in the open, which is why they shame you from even being able to mention this shit. Oh, you think the building fell? What are you, an engineer? Once they start putting this together, what are you, a racist? They want you to, they want that shame embedded in there deep enough so you don't even mention the other psyops that they bury on top of it. Yeah, that one's pretty. That one's a good one. I'm telling you, take that one with you. Psyops thrive on you not mentioning it and you observing it, but not verbalizing it, but not talking about it, but not really critiquing it or critically analyzing it in any way. Just sort of just passively consuming. That's what psyops thrive. So don't do that. Another good one, man. There's a lot of good ones. I'm telling. I started you slow. I was like divide and conquer. I don't want you distracted. Yeah, obviously. I want you divided. Fight over racism and misogyny and religion and whatever the fuck. Yeah, anything but actually unifying by how you're all being fucked in the ass. Like that's 90% of the things that you haven't actually are actually happening to you have in common. It's just basically being fucked. The same people. And overall, anyways, they politicize shit to get it passed. All right, now this is not just like, yeah, this one can get pretty deep. So now, before we go all the way into deep waters, we'll just go. Okay, let's just go back to it's 2020. It's Trump's vaccine or jab vax. I don't know what I'm supposed to say instead of that. I don't know what I was about to say. His whatever. His pokey. Okay, so it's Trump's poke, and he's gonna be poking everybody with this thing. And all the Democrats are out there, and they're saying that shit is poison. I'll never put that shit in my fucking body. That shit will fucking kill you, and fuck you for dying to that. They were really like fucking taking a strong stance to that shit. Okay, and then now you can go ahead and skip a little bit further ahead. Now it's Joe Biden's vaccine. Okay, the formula didn't. Fucking pokey. It's his poke. And so now it's okay. Yeah, it's like brain breaking. They're trying to destroy people's brains by talking like this. Okay, but it's Joe Biden's now, and he's handing it out, and the formula doesn't change whatsoever. They don't change shit about it. It's the same fucking poison, allegedly, or whatever you can say on fucking here. And then they, all of a sudden, all these people, their ideas change about the fucking thing, and everybody who listens to these people and supports these people, their ideas change about it because what do? They just politicized it differently. So now they've poisoned an entire different party of the one party system, but they pretend there's two. They poisoned a different part of it mostly. It's all poisoned, but they got those guys to get a little extra poison, and to really stick to it and to really go, no, it's the best. So you go, oh, and you go, wait, how did they do that? Oh, they politicized it. The second something gets politicized, your fucking spidey senses should be tingling. You should know it's gonna be bullshit. And it's bipartisan too. Because if you really think about it, the only bipartisan things about these guys is kid killing, kid graping. I know what I'm allowed to say on here, and Israel. Those are the three bipartisan things. There's three of them, and none of them are ideal. Okay. So, whenever it's bipartisan, then you also know it's bullshit. Once it's political in any way, it will be the most rancid horseshit that will probably kill you or attempt to kill you, maim you in some way. Yeah, okay, let's slow back down and let's go back to the more simple ones. Because let's just keep those ones in mind. All right, politicizing is bullshit, and not mentioning the psyop is bullshit. Now I'm dropping some real gems in there. Oh shit. Okay, that one's pretty hardcore too. One's pretty hardcore too. And, this whole playbook it's from the perspective of a person trying to defend themselves from the psyop. But essentially by acknowledging the schemes, the schematics of how these psyops and conspiracies are ran in order to protect yourself from it. Anyways, these things, these psyops, right? They hurt the user more than the people in it. So the people in it will be hurt more than people out of it, rather. So these things hurt the. Again, I can't read my exact handwriting. Damn. Basically, the people in the psyop will take the most damage from the psyop, and the people outside of the psyop will be able to avoid the damages better than the people in it. And you could. There's a lot of examples of this one. Because a lot of the side they thrive on people thinking, that they're in on something that's they're in on something that's gonna help them, basically. And everybody else outside of the psyop is then be harmed by not knowing. It's almost they kind of they reverse the thing, but it's a similar thing, yeah. But basically, you think back on all these people. I mean, you can name the psyop. Sometimes I think back on I'll use BLM for this one, I guess, and just the harm, the psychological harm associated. I'm like, it's like they were telling people that, like, sit down your 3-year-old and tell the murderous cops, like. So this is the idea. You sit down a child, right? And you tell them that there's people out there with the right to murder you at any time, and they'll fucking just kill you for no reason, blow your brains out, and shoot you for no fucking reason. So make sure you respect them at the highest level. Make sure you say respectful, that you're entirely respectful, 2 hands on the, like, what? Like, just even the logic there doesn't make sense. They're gonna fucking kill you, so respect them. Is what they, like, non-ironically fucking tell people. Like, that's not how you get respect from people. You fucking murder them until they respect you, right? And then that's what they will non-ironically pass on to their children. They'll tell their child, yeah. So that's the psyop hurting these people. I'm not even gonna dig into how a lot of these shootings are fake shit. Okay, and it doesn't even need to get in. Yeah, obviously. Ever since, I mean, even Emmett fucking Till is like questionable. If you guys really wanted to get into the shit, they never did an autopsy. Never. Even when I got back to Sky, yeah, I'm just okay. I'm just gonna hit you with the tip of the iceberg. Tip of the iceberg. They never examined him officially. The doctor never fucking touched it. Like, what are you talking about? But point is, they've been pulling this game for a long time. All right. So just take it easy. And remember, in that idea, when they're doing that, they're thinking they're protecting the person, right? They think they're protecting their kid by giving them this information, which is really just fear programming. So that's the next one I'll hop into. So I have the fear saddle. Now this is a long chunk. I'm gonna try to read it from this thing, but it's like fucking very bad handwriting. Oh shit. The fear saddle, their favorite tool, is simple yet cruel. All it is when they scare. I was writing this I'm trying to scare, traumatize you into compliance. And so, okay. Well, now I'm trying to. Nice. Fuck. Also, yeah, it's known as trauma-based mind control. Here we go. You see this a lot, and especially violent and tragic events such as Charlie Kirk and George Floyd, exploiting people's emotional vulnerabilities in order to take control of them to a degree of psychosis. The simple solution is to this simple pest is to not become immediately emotionally involved. This might be good information in general. Quote for life. It's that's me. Unless obvious, oh shit. God damn it! I can't read my own handwriting now. I lost it. It's sort of like when the handwriting starts to get smaller. Become a quote for life, obviously. Unless you directly know them, right? So emotions can be good, but a vulnerability that pests exploit. Study something. What does that say? Study, story, something. Routine. I can't read my own handwriting. Fuck, it's fucked up. Fear is the mind killer. I can read that part. So, yeah, the fear saddle. It is their favorite technique. It's how they get you every time. They got to scare the fucking shit out of you. They got to convince you you're fucking next after showing you this thing. And then now you'll listen to them about how to stay safe, ironically, even though they're the ones doing the damage, or what you perceive to be damage, even though it may actually be something else entirely. So the fear saddle. Once you see yourself getting fearful, being controlled by fear, know that you're being psyoped, and they say fear is a mind killer, from dude. That's just like, that's real shit. It's like if you're just being, a lot of people are being controlled by fear that don't even know it. That's a good psyop. They just run around the world like that. I know that really those are the puppet strings for somebody else to be able to just, it's really safe if you go over here. No more fear if you go over there. No more fear if you do this. And now all of a sudden you're somebody's, somebody's servant, somebody's dog, lapdog. How to spot. Oh yeah. All right. So this one's a good one. Let's tie this whole thing together. So how do you spot compromised people? And this isn't just 100% true, not 1,000% proof, but it's what it is just a way to spot just even dangerous mentalities. And a psyop, it doesn't have to know it's a psyop. Yeah. How to spot compromised people, basically. Spot the compromised. They push fear, division, and fuck, I can't read my own hand. I think it says consumerism. Doomerism. If they push division, fear, and doomerism, you got a compromised guy there. And they all serve their own purpose. The fear guy gets you into your kennels, new kennels, right? He wants to divide you up. This is a new divide. Fear. Oh, okay, stay away from these people. So now they get you there. The division serves to let you know where the lines are to stay safe at, and the doomerism keeps you in those lines. It's pretty fucked up. Yeah, if they're pushing any of that shit, and it gets pretty easy to spot after a while. You go, oh, this guy's pushing the same shit. Oh, I'm supposed to be scared of these fucking people because what, they're gonna come kill us all. Come kill us all. It's actually already. Oh, it's over already. So everybody go home because it already killed us all. So it's like all this stupid shit. That's to keep you in your sad little loop. In your fucking pit somewhere. That's where they want people to stay. Yeah. But they don't break free. Yeah. So that's an easy way to spot them. If they're compromised, if they're pushing fear, division, doomerism, all these things. Yeah, I mean, this thing's gonna be long. I'm trying to knock them all out here, but that might be a good place to put it there. I mean, holy shit, there's a lot of these. Goddamn. Actually, here's the last one. If they have you focusing on it, it's bullshit. There you go. That one's a good one. If they have you, if they want you to even look at it, it's bullshit. So yeah, for this next part, I'm just gonna add some more of just like just be looking at these videos. Is sometimes where I get my information from here. Look, I should just like sure, okay. Oh yeah, it's blank there. I'm like, okay, all right, okay. Yeah, seen the shit? Okay, cool. It's free your mind videos on Rumble. I come in and pick up some nice information. There goes my lighter. Usually, the other thing, yeah, it's just like, shit, is that the tech? Yeah, shit. Yeah. It's like, I don't give too much of it. Shit, I just know about these things in order to protect myself and my loved ones. I'm not really trying to, end the whole racket and be the messiah. Because I know that that's not going to be very feasible, and that's not really how I want to spend my life. I don't approve of everything on here, by the way. I'll just say that. Okay, this is just a place where there's a lot of information. All right, you can come here and they update it pretty frequently. They upload quite frequently, and it just all types of long form, short form stuff about shit. Some of it is bullshit. Obviously the psyops can be can go deep into. They got a lot of these guys. A lot of the biggest people in conspiracies are compromised, and you don't really need to be a genius to find out. If they were, like you can name it. You don't need to be a genius. Like who's getting famous off conspiracies in 2025, 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020? No one was, but somehow some people did. Everybody else got banned though. Shadow banned and shit and fucking deleted from Earth. That's weird. Now these other guys, that's another way to spot a compromised person, yeah. They somehow managed to get famous off conspiracies in the 2020s. In the 2020s of the modern world on YouTube, on TikTok, on these places where it's not very. Anyone will tell you it's not very profitable racket. It's not a racket, all right? That's what's if you're doing conspiracies on this fucking thing. So how are these guys making it a racket? Anyways, and are they putting out good information? Are they? Who needs to tell you any of this stuff? Anyways. So, yeah, this is just a good place. Yeah, I'm not going to be diving too deep. Oh, there's another one in here I wanted to get to, though. Hold on. Before we get into these Rumble videos, because a couple of these are, yeah, who knows? Who knows about some of them? But I'm just going to be watching them for the first time here with you. I just skim through, get updated on what's going on out there. Not go too deep. Some of this stuff sometimes. People. Yeah, getting people's guard down. That's just what I'm noticing right now. Okay, so this is my last one. Just touching all the conspiracy. Maybe I should have probably shut that thing I was reading. But yeah, a lot of these shit. Seeing that thing. A lot of these also depend on getting your guard down. This is the last one for it because this ties into the current events and these stupid psyops that are like really easy to spot. Any normie would just go in there and it doesn't make any sense. Why is the news immediately telling me he works for the CIA? Yeah, that's a weird thing to do. But right now, this is all part of getting the public's guard down so that when some shit pops off, that's maybe a little bit more difficult to spot. And that's sort of what the Charlie Kirk shit was. That's why there's a variety of conspiracies for that, because it lets people know the gradient that folks are on. What level of conspiracy theorist are you? Do you think he's actually dead? Do you think he's on a beach in Tel Aviv? Or do you think he's, he's the martyr of free speech? So no talking shit about him, type thing. That's the whole scale there. So that's also a part of that. But this is when that big one, when they really hit that real, thing, then you won't be ready for it. So think about like pre 9/11 or pre COVID, all this shit was like strangely idyllic. It's a little too good. As I'll put it. Right. That's when you can spot when something's happening. Something's up when it's a little bit too good. So that's up for that, and they're kind of doing it right now. They still had psyops up until then that tell people about Y2K, like the robots were gonna rise up and start hacking people apart and shit. But it wasn't, it wasn't the big one. That was almost a feeler to see what happens. What happens when we tell people that something's gonna happen? And then that's where they get their information from. And so this next these next few could be interesting. And anyways, so put this thing back up. We'll be diving in some of these. See how it goes. That is here. It's actually there. All right. Let's start from the beginning. I don't know. But some of these, who knows? Tartarian airships. This is a good place to start. I don't know if YouTube's just. They already got me. Who cares?
Here we have a photo of one of these airships in between the two spires of the Old World building. You can see that they use these spires to electrically charge these airships, and this was common knowledge. And in the very next photo, it's leaving the port. We are not given the truth about our history. This isn't something that we are ever told about in our mainstream schooling system all over the world. Do you find that odd? Let's keep digging. We see that the U.S. Army had this technology in the 1800s, as well as the Navy. Now, this is a photo from July of 1931. We clearly have an airship charging at the top of this building. So we have a lot going on here, and this was within the last 100 years.
Man,
an airship
are you guys hearing it out
charging at the top of this tower. Did you think they only charged at the top of buildings? Of course not.
They obviously did it. This one's an obvious. Well, that one's not really a conspiracy. They charged airships. You can look up they charged them on top of the Eiffel Tower. It's probably in this fucking video. But that's what a lot of the points on top of the fucking tower. But that one's an easy one. Almost. Yeah. Replicating mRNA vaccines. European population collapse. And some other stuff. But depopulation, some real shit. I don't know if this is, I guess,
need the new administration up and do something because the next, they have 500 mRNA shots in the pipeline. 33 of those are self-amplifying, which is just really terrifying.
What does that mean?
Meaning they're designed to continue to replicate indefinitely. Already the ones we have, we don't have an off switch. And this is no off switch on steroids. They have them in Japan and India and the EU already.
They've already
this is for
given
the
them to people?
I don't know. I know they've passed. They're They're the one that I think is in the pipeline in the U.S. is for the H1N1. So it may not really even get used unless there's an issue, but they're still playing around with it.
Self-replicating sounds terrifying,
right?
Especially when you just highlighted all those other problems with like DNA being introduced.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever looked into all the mRNA shit, I mean, they taught us about it. Peace science in high school, the freshman year. And they taught us about the mRNA vaccine and how it was meant for cancer and AIDS and shit. So, Joe Biden was saying broccoli was getting tested for. That's what that mRNA was theoretically supposed to do. And even, they're saying wacky shit like if you fucking lost an arm or something, you could. Yeah, it's just stupid shit. Yeah, you could get a vaccine that'll tell your arm to grow again or something. That was the more wacky end. But it wasn't meant for the cold and flu. I mean, that one's pretty easy. Let's keep it to these simple short ones, but these ones are pretty interesting too. Apparently, you can still get pretty messed up on YouTube if you mention it, but something's up. Yeah. Let's see. Is this? This one's interesting. Fuck. Let's pick up the fucking pace. Get it. Due to migrant invasion, Germans for Christmas are buying in droves bullet and stab-proof vests. There's a lot of psyop stuff on there. And that'll be, I'm not saying it's perfect. This isn't necessarily, it's also real. I'm like, how many bullet and stab-proof vests are really selling though? But, I guess that's part of the fun. If it's any, I guess that's impressive. Yeah. But, the whole, I don't know where my lighter went. This is what I'm doing, in case you're wondering. But yeah, the whole immigration thing was engineered so that they can do this next thing. I'm going to cover it in my video about the controlled demolition of America in the West. I was going to do it on Thanksgiving, but it just got way too long. And I was like, fuck. It was a good time to take a break. I have to cook a turkey and shit and ham and hang out and get fucked up. Be disappointed by Wicked 2. So, I mean, not that I had anything. It just felt watery and bland. Nothing happened. It just got like, what did they even make Wicked 2? But Thanksgiving was good. Yeah, I get fucked up and hang out. Make some get turkey. Shit. Made the ham edibles. Okay, that was a good time. It wasn't too heavy, but it's fun. The yams too. It was a good time. But the point is, yeah, I'm gonna cover it in the video that was supposed to be the Thanksgiving special. Time. It's a part of the demolition, and even Israel's getting a part of the demolition. They were known for their PR. That was like all they had. I mean, they don't really have like exports like that. They had like this legend that followed them around that they were like, desert badasses who were, I don't know, like got justice after the Holocaust. But now we know it's a lot of, I don't know, we're allowed to say on there. So it's no good. So we learned that's a part of this controlled demolition. Flooding these places with migrants is a part of the controlled demolition. I'm put you on a little bit of game here. I swear I was in like an MK class or something. I went to a preparatory academy or early on. It's not more, but somewhere in there they taught us that there was going to be some kind of massive immigration thing, crisis, whatever you want to call it, was be immigrants flooding into America, into Europe, all over the first world or whatever. And for a little bit, they'll be treated as almost second-class citizens. This is what they said, all right? And they'll be pretty much, doing jobs people don't want to do, shit like that, they'd say. But then after a while, there'll be so many of them. And this is how they put it to us in like kid terms. So I don't even know what kind of, it was some kind of fucked up MK class. And I asked my sister about it. She goes, I don't know. I didn't have that class. But I don't remember it that well either. So I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that was. It was some weird science class thing. But yeah. After all the immigrants have moved in, and enough of them have, at some point, it'll be our option pretty much, or to our benefit, that we can now. This is their idea, that we can pick a spot on the globe now and move there, and pretty much just be able to buy a massive amount of land for cheaper than you can here, right? All that shit. So then you go there, basically everybody expatriates, and once there's enough expats, enough expatriated people, they'll from there erase the borders to make it easier to live in and all this fun stuff. This is what they told. I mean, I'm just saying, this is what I got from my MK class that I don't remember that well. I'm thinking about it, like, what teacher was that? Like, it's just weird. And why would they even? I just remember learning about it. I just was like, oh, okay, like, I guess that's what's gonna happen. I never really thought about it, but once you really break it down, like, wait a second, that was MK class. That was the New World Order class I was in. But yeah, that's one of the plans out there. So I'd tell people, heads up, and pick a spot. I just tell them, pick a spot and gentrify it, and really go nuts. Hopefully it's out of the way enough too, because there'll be some more shit kicking off until then. You might be an early adapter right now.
It's beginning to look like Christmas everywhere you go.
It's fashionable.
Take a look at the 5 and 10.
It's got a good fit to it. Snug, looks warm. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty nice. They got somebody that's brutalist appearance. Yeah, it's just like, it's hardcore. It's kind of hardcore. All right. Well, watch out for that. Northern Ireland, a bonfire was set up featuring a migrant boat, a giant Palestinian flag effigy. I think it was a Palestinian flag. Look like, I mean, it could be. It looks like it could be a different flag. Yeah, it is. Veterans before refugees. Yeah, it is. That's what they're up to. Shit, that might be one of the tallest structures in Ireland they built for this. That's kind of extreme, but sometimes you get the Irish fired up, they'll build something tall. Porsche cars in Russia shut down after satellite system failed.
Очень много народу пишут по новостей по.
Oh shit! It's in Russian. But you get the point there. I mean, yeah, obviously they can do that shit. And they'll do that all the time. I mean, they have that. What they don't want to tell you is that they can kind of do that to like every car that's been sold in the last. I mean, you might be able to go back 15 years. You might be able to. But definitely 5 years and probably 10 years. But yeah. Yeah, it's fucked up. And again, and the Tesla too is also a trap for people who want to be cooked alive. Don't want to be cooked alive. For people to be cooked alive, basically, if you haven't heard about the Tesla, the fucking doors will lock automatically once the battery can't connect to them. So now you're trapped in the fucking vehicle with no battery in it. It's an electric vehicle. And there's been instances, there's like the firefighters show up, they can't open the fucking thing. I mean, it's crazy. Catches fucking fire. I mean, just because the battery isn't connected to the car doesn't mean it's not dangerous. It's like still a big ass battery underneath you. So it's like, yeah, it's a very dangerous thing. You won't hear, Joe Rogan mentioning this. He's compromised by Elon. That's cool. That's he's his buddy. but don't expect, good information from him then, because, it's fucked up, but that's what it is. He's going to tell you it feels like the future to drive it. It's like, maybe. Shit. Maybe a little too far in the future. In the future, we'll see. Yeah, it's like, how about, yeah. You get what the crazy shit going on there. I'll fall for that one. Zombie injuries. Sometimes it's interesting. God damn it, sometimes I go bad. If I was Hassan Abi right now, if I was Hassan Piker, that's what I say, and I just, oh my God, I would just electrocute my canine. Oh, okay. I don't know if YouTube is a joke, YouTube, but for Minecraft, I don't know what they do. So I just captured the firmament on video if you guys want to. Let's see this.
If you don't believe in the proof of that barrier, video footage and what you're seeing, I just want to break down for anyone who by chance is here and has no clue what we're talking about. We're talking about lightning sprites. This phenomenon is very mysterious for a reason. It wasn't captured on photo until about the 1980s. But these things occur at heights above 60 miles. And these things are massive, almost 60 miles wide. They make Mount Everest look like a giant stone. These things are huge and powerful, billions of volts of electricity. And when we look at what these things are, they are considered large electrical discharges made up of plasma. How does this prove there's a barrier up above us? Because we can replicate it in the lab with an invention made by Nikola Tesla known as the plasma ball. This thing can replicate lightning sprites brilliantly. And where it comes into proving that
recently, I'm not like a full-on flat earth or whatever, but I give the flat earthers a ton of credit, where it's due. The firmament in science, whatever, they'll call it something else. They'll call it the Van Allen radiation belt. They'll call it all types of shit, but it's pretty much acknowledged that there's a fucking shield of sort. They'll say it protects us from direct UV rays from the sun or whatever, captures dangerous particles from outer space and whatever. But it's essentially a fucking thick shield of what they'll call plasma, probably, or dense energy and radiation that separates us from the stars above us. Essentially the dome, that the legendary dome of the flat earthers movement. So I give these guys all the credit for that. And some other stuff. NASA's full of shit. Antarctica's weird. The map is not true. And they don't have Epstein Island on the fucking map, I bet. There's a bunch of fucking shit they don't have on the fucking map. Okay? On a globe, you can spin around and point at and shit. There's a bunch of people, very powerful people out there that can keep things out of things. So I give credit on that one. And I don't think it's as outlandish, to keep people in the dark about things that are at this scale. It's almost really the bigger it is, the easier it is to hide. There's a fine middle ground where you want to avoid if you're trying to hide things, but the smaller it is, if it's the smallest thing possible or the biggest thing possible, you pretty much get away with that one. So I'm like, who's gonna really go around and prove this bitch is which shape? Has anybody done? Who's really done it? Like that we can all just undeniably go, okay, that one, there's the shape of it. No fisheye lens, no whatever the fuck. There it is, the shape of I just give the flat earth. I'm not gonna pretend I know. Because what, some fucking dickhead jerk off Neil deGrasse Tyson nonsense dickhead fucking told me something. I don't fucking know shit. I can acknowledge it. I don't know. I just have this one dickhead Neil deGrasse fucking Tyson fucking said some shit. It's fucking, honestly, he's kind of a dumb jerk off, so I don't know about that stuff anymore. I'm kind of going like, it's kind of stupid. So maybe. A lot of people just laughed the flat tards, as they've been dubbed, out of the room. But to me, I mean, some of it makes sense. Some of that is accurate. Other parts, I'm not too sure. But, I'm not going to pretend I know the answer. I'm not Neil deGrasse Tyson.
There's a barrier up above us is when you try to do this without the barrier. If you remove this barrier, it's not going to work. That's why you see waves moving across this barrier before these things shoot out. When you flip it upside down, it looks like waves in the ocean. And they haven't just been captured on video by NOVA. They've been captured by astronomers. There are people who go out time and time again and film things that should not happen on the globe, but you can see it for yourself. It's there. This necessitates a barrier. This doesn't happen in deep space. A vacuum chamber is not going to have random waves moving in front of luminaries like that.
Yeah. Who knows? He's hit him with the strong maybe. Yeah, maybe. Finish pastor trains. There we go. That's the stuff. Secretly running someone's leopard. Yeah, that's true. This is Ireland. Transgender madness out there, I guess is what they're calling it. I know YouTube's probably, I mean, it's already, they're not exactly putting me fully out there anyway, so it's all good. I think pretty much, I'm just gonna come up here and not even self-censor for YouTube. Schools are set up to brainwash children by the Drew Rockefeller. Okay, well, yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know about the whole thing, but that's, pretty much, I mean, they were set up to brainwash people. Yeah, where are we at? 350. God damn. I mean, am I just watchable? See, it's scripted. We'll start here. Something more grounded.
Realized yet is there is no left versus right. There is no left versus right. There is no red versus blue. There is no Republican versus Democrat. It is all one big club. It's all government. And our government does not have our best interest at heart, no matter what side you think you're on. You have to step back and realize that this entire system was set up to divide us so that we pick a side, when in reality, they're all one big.
I mean, the whole thing, I was just thinking about, the American Revolution. There's the Ken Beasy doc. I always like getting in there and watching, seeing what's up. But, I was watching it. I might try to go extra long on the stream here to make up for nothing last week here. But, I was watching. And it was a good doc. It's well made and all that classic stuff. But just thinking about how that could have just went so many different ways, could have broke any given so many ways. And for whatever reason, it broke this way, it came over here. And it's strange. And, once you start digging into it, and Ken Burns, he doesn't mention any particular secret societies, when he's talking about the founding of this country. But, if you know anything about secret societies in this country, its founding, you would know about, all the Masonic orders involved. And that's just public. That's in Disney movies. That's National Treasure. That's all that stuff. That's like the whole point. That is a major plot point. They didn't touch on any of that, which I'm not trying to say, but if you really look into it, the Bavarian Illuminati was founded. I don't even know. Whatever, YouTube. Just take it. I don't give a shit. It's all a big joke. But it was founded the same year as the American Declaration of Independence, essentially 1776. You really start looking into it, you kind of get the idea, and from there, that's where they kind of mastered this whole idea of how they're going to run the game is going to be a big divide and conquer. They're going to, sort of, leverage people's. I'm trying to break this down. I'm saying, over and over, leverage people's needs against each other in order to sort of leverage themselves forward. It's not really about, this person or this person, the Indians or the colonists or whatever, it's about moving forward this other larger agenda. But yeah, and then that got me also thinking about the British. The British. Oh yeah, they're exhausting. But they take a lot of credit for apparently, I didn't know this, but they take credit for ending the slave trade. Like they didn't start it. That's like taking credit for like, I don't know, cleaning up the streets, and all you did was stop selling crack. It's like, well, you were the one, you did it. You did this though. You can't just say you cleaned it up. You didn't clean up anything. If anything, you really did most of the damage. But if you're looking at England or whatever, I have too many names, UK. If you're looking at UK, these guys are like the only real reason they shut off the slave trade, which didn't really end slavery in their colonies, did they? Right? But was because the slave trade allowed for, ironically, the democratization of resources exploitation. So if England wasn't trading slaves around, America wouldn't have any slaves to get strong enough to gain independence. If they kept their slavery over there, only England can get to it. So they try to take credit for things that are really selfish decisions to perpetuate their own wealth, and that's not unique to England. But of course, they love doing that. But that's just all these psyops, all these feel good stories. We ended that one. Like, did you? You did, for the good of humanity. That's what you did. England, the fuck out of here, man. But yeah, something to think about that too. Yeah, it's always trickery, bullshit when they're telling you things. The least racist country. Like, really? Didn't you sort of start this? You can't just say that. You can't just say things.
Club, and they're all acting. They're all playing their parts. They are all puppets, because the ones that are truly in charge of our world are in the shadows. 99.9% of people on this planet don't have any idea who those people are, and they sit in the shadows, and they are the puppet masters. We're down here pretty much pawns on the chessboard, right? And the puppet masters are sitting in the shadows controlling everything. And even the people that are on our TV screens that people think that are going to come in and save the day and fix everything are still puppets themselves. This whole movie that we're watching, this whole Trump versus Biden.
The only way to become president, a lot of these people are waking up to this stuff now. And that's why I called Trump Orange Obama, because he's going to be breaking a lot of people out the illusions that they were in. Because that shit is just, it's no longer sustainable to think that a fucking guy in some, demonic fucking hellhole town somewhere is going to fucking want to save you for some reason. Like, that's not feasible. That doesn't make any sense. So, now people are catching up to it. I mean, that's good news, but yeah, there's something. There's a lot of room still for looking around, and the only way, guys, to become president, the same thing as Zoran. People putting their faith in Zoran, and I don't care who you think is going to save the day. They're all bullshit. They're all from the same fucking demon shooting fucking, these little demons out of their gigantic puss somewhere. This is like not, none of these guys are going to save you. Yeah, and so that idea that someone's going to save you is what keeps you exploitable, manipulatable. I don't know if that's what manipulatable. Whatever. And you're ultimately just being gullible, so that's why that happens. Because you're being a mark. They're gonna come in and get you. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Zara ain't gonna save you. Trump ain't gonna save you. Obama ain't gonna save you. Who else? Who else you like? They all suck. They're all horrible. They would fucking sacrifice you and your entire family in an instant for another day in the fucking sunlight. Like nothing, like without a fight, without blinking. Without blinking. And that was the other thing I wanted to get into was the Nancy Pelosi and Marjorie Taylor Greene, two legends of the game. I mean, heading out, they're hanging up the jerseys in the rafters, and yeah. But an interesting part about that no one seems to be mentioning is so Nancy, she's really known for using the information at her disposal to her benefit, right? Insider trading. That's her whole thing, right? So what did she learn that made her end her job at 80 fucking one? Like, why would, what did she find out? What did Nancy Pelosi find out? Because really she's insider trading again, but this time with her whole career. And, that's what they're all up to in there, by the way. They're all from the same. They're all the same nasty bunch. They grow shit together. Again, all the bipartisan things. Graping kids. Killing kids is the other one. Yeah, I'm trying to kill kids as well. And Israel. Those are three. They have three things they all agree on. Isn't that strange? And even if they pretend they don't agree on a couple of these things, and I'm sure maybe they don't sometimes, it all goes the same direction anyways. Yeah. And so it doesn't really matter. And they know that. I don't care. Then he has, birds of a feather do frazzle drip together. I don't know if I'm going to say that. I don't know if that's going to get me kicked out. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty fucked up. Yeah, don't fall for any of that stuff. But yeah, she's known for insider trading and she's leaving. So what does that tell you? The same thing with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Apparently she's got some inside dealings. They all do. And yeah, she's getting out of there too. I'm going, oh, they have some real information at their disposal too, don't they? I think they found something out. If this is appearing pink, that's because they're pink rappers. I'm sorry about that. So anyway, good luck. There's Lazy Susan. That goes enough to the thing. No. Yeah, it's the last of my papers left. It's actually lucked out. Lucked out. That's the papers. All right. That's fucked up. More people realize. That's good. Yeah, it's better for people to know. Yeah, not knowing is what does more damage than knowing. Really, ultimately. So it's better to know. That's what I'm saying. Here's this one.
And this whole left versus right is a distraction. And that's what most people don't realize. And they have a hard time grasping that. They have a hard time understanding that because what we see is all we know. We only know voting. We only know left versus right, Republican versus Democrat.
And all the voting's been fake since. Yeah, I'm sorry to pause. Yeah, but I guess it's I feel like I'm spitting. I'm saying that. But a lot of the voting hasn't been real since at least maybe it was Nixon or something. It was Dick Gregory ends up getting 6 million votes in Pennsylvania or some shit, or 3 million votes. I don't know exactly what the number was, but Yeah, he gets a fuck ton of votes for no reason. They say it's like the machine's messed up or whatever, but yeah, it just did something weird. And if you've ever seen, I forget what the movie's called, but it's a movie where Robin Williams becomes president, and the voting machines. If they tell you in the movies, they really do. It's it's right, it's stupid, but they do. But the voting machines are rigged to basically just put the names in alphabetical order, and then they put his name in there, and he ends up being the president because his name is alphabetically at the top. Or I think we're betting on that too. Whatever, the plot isn't as important, but that's the important part, and that's pretty much what they did in Pennsylvania with Dick Gregory in the '60s. They put it like in alphabetical order or some bullshit, and he ends up getting millions of votes. So voting isn't real. If it was real, they wouldn't let you die. That part is obviously, if it was really a thing like that, man, they would put that shit away. But it has been real the whole time. None of these elections are real. It's mostly just narrative building. It's a point of the electoral map is like this thematic representation of how it's laid out, basically, or how it should be laid out, and their idea. Maybe some of the voting is. I really doubt it though. At this point, I'm like, that shit is fake as shit. Yeah. Last one I wrote in O.J. Simpson and Ricky Bobby as president, vice president, which is, I think would really help bring this country to a better place, moving forward. But other people chose otherwise. I respect their democratic say.
Sad reality is the people at the very top, they all worship Satan. They all worship Lucifer. They are all involved in things that honestly the average person can't grasp. Our brains can't wrap around the evil that is actually present in this world. And when you realize that aspect of things, you realize you see this world in a very different way. You don't see presidents the same. You don't see voting the same. You don't see.
Still going? Okay. Yeah. So I'm trying to tell people, gotta wake up to this stuff. Yeah. From becoming members. Mm-hmm. Let's see what these guys are up to. Oh shit! Right, I can't do it like that. Okay, I'll do these. I like the short ones. They're simple. Yeah.
The Women's Institute Women from becoming members, announcing that change will take effect from April next year. The organisation says it's acting with regret and sadness, but that April's Supreme Court ruling on biological sex has left it with no legal choice if it wants to remain a recognised women's charity. Chief Executive Melissa Green says the WI has proudly welcomed trans women for more than 40 years and insists transgender women are women, but formal membership will now be restricted to biological women only.
There's something, man. I mean, we'll lose here. That's nice, but global information. Yeah, I have no clue what kind of British shit they're fucking talking about. So, all right. Yeah, I can't pump that out. But yeah, I mean, like I said, that's what they're up to. Good enough. They just got something. Oh, shit. You gotta see what I mean, though, right? When I said that they're gonna bring him in and have him be like a second class thing, because these guys, they are fucking people. Fucking people. I hate that this thing is like, I feel like I'm talking like a child or something. I don't know. I'm like, oh, did I say it? It's just like a family reunion. I don't know. If it doesn't feel good, I'm like, yeah, whatever. they're fucking people over using these guys, right? And they're hoping that you get angry at these guys. Basically, it fucked me up trying to self-censor. You see how it works? Yeah, I'm just not gonna engage. But yeah, that's why they got them here. And they're gonna, they want you to think these guys got it in over you. And they kind of do, they're gonna get more resources from the government than you've gotten, But that's just to drive the anger, the wedge, and to actually put these people in place where they're more exploited, because you actually need them to have like a baseline level to be exploitable. You can't even, like, how do you get a homeless? You can't really exploit a homeless person fully in like the modern society. It's fucked up, but you need transportation and a place to put these people so you can overwork them 8 hours a day for 40 years or whatever the fuck. It's like, so that's what these guys are going to be doing. I mean, overwork 8 hours a day, I guess might not be doing it. Might have 12 hours, who knows? But yeah, you need to get them up to some baseline so you can start the real pay some rent. That's when you get crazy. By the way, I'm aware. No, that's the.
I hope from Holland, back from Germany.
Holland, Germany, yeah. We've heard that. We've heard a lot about that. Denmark. Yeah. Okay. So you guys are Kurdish Iraqis.
They all speak gibberish here.
So let's tell me about these gangs of people. There's no gangs.
Very interesting.
No gangs. Really? This is good for you to tell me this. So, because we have told in England that you guys are brought over by gangs.
Captured.
Not true.
For everybody.
It's not true.
I don't know what anyone.
You can just come in wherever you want, and you can be free. You have your own stuff. You get to this part of France, and then you come of your own accord. So who helps you when you get here?
Yeah, and a bunch of belligerent babbling from over the pond. They're having a great time. Rainwater under the microscope. You just garden. Yeah, I saw this actually this funny one of the Chinese lady looking at some jizz. It was actually good information too, but it was just hilarious. Yeah, I'm not gonna do the accent necessarily, but maybe I will do the accent because it is not self-censoring. It's a sample. Yeah, and it's not I might look for that one here. That one is interesting. I feel like that one, that's gonna draw people in. Look at this. Where's the bad half? Yeah, there he was. And Joe Biden really letting us know some information. Raising contempt. I'll hit this one up here because I'm thinking of, I've sort of changed my stance on the Canadian population. I was really letting them have it. I was shitting on them. I have a video, Canadian Agents of Chaos, and basically, how their Canadian ways are detrimental to the American project. And and I told them this all in a very, delicate, manner, relatively, speaking, I guess, some other options. And, I've come to a new conclusion, yeah, it's a little different now, yeah. But yeah, I'll let this play for a second about the Canadians here.
I'm about to say something which I always do, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate from the helmet, wearing, crayon eating losers of Canada who think that they're so pro Canada, and they don't even care if they're on the elbows up or elbows downside. They're just so pro Canadian. They're like, at least we're not American. Yeah, because how's that working out for you guys with the communism? That pipeline that you guys have been protesting for Alberta to get because you don't want to see Alberta be prosperous, even though you benefit from Alberta with equalization payments to your has-been welfare loser provinces. Yeah, now that's going to get bankrolled by a bunch of American billionaires. And I'm so happy. I'm actually going to invest in their stocks. Why? Because fuck it, might as well get some of that money back. Oh, and by the way, the main guy that's financing it also financed Epstein. Gee, I wonder why. Let me just show. Anyways, that's Carney. That's Ghislaine Maxwell. And that's Carney's husband that looks like a Teen U version of Mick Jagger. Now, they're also passing laws where cops can actually go into your mail. They can talk to your doctor, get all of your doctor information, including how many abortions you've had, how many vaccines you've had, with 0 warrants, with Bill C2. Yeah, let me just show you that too. Broader bill powers would allow warrantless police requests to doctors, abortion clinics, and hotels. Read for yourself. Oh, yeah, and British Columbia is bringing in some...
Yeah, I'm not sure this part's in the morning. But okay, basically, the Canadians... Yeah, I feel bad for them. At this point, they're at the... I got a larger perspective of it. Zoom that a little bit. Look at it. What we're looking at here is... it's a sort of a... It's not quite a neo-colonial thing, right? Because it's not quite, colony. It's more of a what they call a commonwealth, a neo-commonwealth or something now of England. So really they're swinging from England's nuts over there, and and from a lot of people, the bankers and all these, because England isn't swinging by its own nuts. Yeah, no one is. Everyone's got a boss. Yeah. So basically, they're being subject to this agenda. That really they're not even. Yeah, but they're like too nice to push on it, which is why they're coming for them, too. They don't want people in our future society who have to be nice, basically. That doesn't be a part of it, and that's sort of what they're attacking here, because the Canadians aren't going to be able to be nice. Because I'm telling them they're going to have to, someone's going to have to say something about it. Again, these saps thrive on people not saying anything and just sitting there. You got to say something, then you can begin to combat it. It's like I almost look at my job, or I don't even know job, my way. That doesn't sound any better. Same, the 3 letters still, but it's much more of like a scout, or I'm not trying to, sound whatever, but I'm not. My job isn't to topple these things or to, whatever. I just go over there and I get a kick out of knowing what's happening over there, and then coming back and going, bouncing it back, going, what the fuck is that about? I'm not sure they have that. Didn't you know that? You don't know that? That explains this and all this other shit. Yeah, it's I don't know what my point is there, but I don't. But the point is about the Canadians here. I feel for the Canadians now. I get it. They're being targeted essentially by these larger things, and still, and that's not leaving behind my previous, opinion or idea that the Canadians serve as almost an outside agitator role. I keep saying but I'm thinking about it. They essentially, and same thing with Australians and British and South Africa, all these people that come in, I call them accent people, and they show up and they talk funny. And the Canadians don't really count as accent people. It's kind of why they're more, it's sort of more of a dangerous thing, because you might not be able to spot that. But these accent people that come here and they stir up, divisions. They want to just come here and talk about stupid shit from a bad angle that's been outdated, and it's not moving anything forward. The point of it isn't to help anybody. It's to keep this thing going, keep the division, keep the whatever that is there, without, okay, I keep saying I'm going to stop by. Like, but they're here to perpetuate the game being played. All right. Yeah, you can look at it with all these guys. Elon comes here, some South African. He's pro H1B. South Africans are actually, I've been sizing them up as potentially more dangerous than the Canadians. But Trevor by himself, he's fine. But why did he hop in and start lecturing people about politics? Bro, you just got here from Africa. What the fuck? What are you telling me about how the fuck I should feel? You're from Africa fucking last week. What the fuck? What do you know about this place? What do you know about this place? Really, that's really, and Elon does the same thing. All these people, they come here and do the same shit. These accent fucking people. A real issue, and I'll probably do, I've been cooking one up on that one. It's coming. But I also realize, some people here are being subject to this stuff back at home in Canada. So you have to factor that in. They're definitely being hunted down. They're getting whacked out there. They're tired of having these Canadians. I can get into the whole, I might the whole nativist population, because I'm on the accent people thing here. Gangs of New York style politics, essentially, a lot of stuff going on. So in Canada, they're getting the same thing everyone's getting, right? The controlled demolition of the West. America is, subject to this stuff. But in Canada, I saw this guy who was talking about it earlier. I was like, they're mentioning it too. But in America, it's similar to what they're doing in Canada and vice versa. They don't want anybody there who's been there for a long time, who's been there for a while, over 5 years, maybe might even be the cutoff, over fucking 10, maybe, who knows? But they don't want anybody fucking there who's really got roots in America or Canada, any of these places, Europe. And that's just, when they talk about the Great Replacement or whatever, I'm talking about the Great Replacement on YouTube live stream, but they try to turn it into like this white genocide thing, which sure, maybe. But I go maybe. But there's enough eugenics campaigns to prevent white genocide, if you're looking for my honest opinion. But more than that, it's a nativist fucking genocide. They don't want anybody there, whatever you might want to call it, a diaspora. That's when I care when people all have to, leave from these places and recollect somewhere, I'm sure. I mean, who knows? But so Canada's getting a lot of that shit too. They're getting flooded out with, you name it. It's a who's who of Southeast Asians. All right, it's very South Asians in general. It's not fun. I'm going, all right, they're getting hit with it in a way where you kind of gotta go. But they're also, some of them are sent here to be outside agitators, much like all these. A lot of
good. We don't like reckless driving. No, it's just going to target Alberta big trucks with diesel. Too loud for the Karens of Vancouver. Can't have that. Oh my goodness! Everybody's got to be on a Tesla worshiping Greta Thunberg, right?
I don't know what kind of Canadian shit's going on, but I get what kind of stuff they're going through. What's going on over there? Never touch your phone while charging. I gotta get to this side. It is a little bit more staying geopolitical here.
Today is indeed a historic day for our union. Last night, we reached a provisional agreement on the Commission's proposal to fully phase out Russian fossil fuels. We're turning that page, and we're turning it for good. This is the dawn of a new era, the era of Europe's full energy independence from Russia. Many believe this would be
ignore
impossible.
her evil accent.
Well, the figures speak for themselves, and let me give you some. Today, Russian gas imports, so LNG and pipeline, are down from 45% at the beginning of the war to...
All right. Yeah, you know, those guys up to no good. Always up to no good over there.
Charging. Set the remote down. Okay, grab it real quick. And set it down. So if you're using your phone while charging it, you're going to want to see this. So right now, the phone isn't putting off any EMF, but look when it's charging.
Holy fuck. Wow. For Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Right there, where it's right in the palm of your hand, it's going to be putting off the highest amounts of voltage.
Yeah, well. I'm sure that's an accident, by the way, where you touch the phone is when it's the most dangerous. I'm sure they accidentally, meticulously designed this entire phone and accidentally did that. Whoops. That's what I see. I think photos. Again, guys, when you're seeing people get popular off conspiracies, I've been here. I'm giving people a real shit. I'm here. Just floating around, just being curious about things, just observing, reporting. Okay, all right. I'm not getting a conversation with Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, because he took his country and took it from an industrial nuclear superpower.
Didn't he commit a genocide?
That is what they say.
He didn't commit a genocide?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, because he took his country and took it from nothing and turned it into an industrial. I don't know, but
what do you mean you don't?
There's a lot of dispute about was it intentional, was it overstated?
How do you unintentionally commit a genocide?
Because he didn't really when they say it's a genocide, they say so he went in there and forced agriculture to be collectivized with these brutal 5-year plans, really high quotas, and it didn't really work, and a lot of people starved and died from it. And so people then say, well, that was intentional. They were trying to kill all the Ukrainians. And I don't know if it was intentional, and I think maybe it's overstated how many people died after the revolution became the dictator and single-handedly took.
Yeah. Planet. You should look into it if you don't know about those guys. But they essentially, in short, revolutioned. This is super short. They revolutioned the Russian Revolution. So they sort of went in there, cooed the revolution too, but sort of added their own twist onto it, their own ideology and all this shit that would go along with it. But the point there being that that's sort of one of the plans they got in store with us here is if there is a revolution, it's going to be revolutioned. All right. How far is the hour now? Jesus. Shit. That's pretty good. Yeah, here it is. I would probably wind it down here. Free Your Mind videos on Rumble. They got some good stuff. So I don't agree with all of it, but if you're curious about, you want to observe some information, there's a good amount of it here. Some of it's Some of it's questionable, some of it's edgy, some of it's accurate, some of it's good. Who knows? Yeah, but here it is. And there's a lot of these on Rumble. You know, just look up something and find a big ass clips channel that just has everything. Here's one more. And just before we go here, I got a special message, closing message here. Just want to make sure this is over here. Okay, very good. Yeah, till next time, I'll leave you with this message. It's an important thing. No shame in getting tested for it.